So earlier today, DJ, we know him as Charlie Skywalker.
Yep. Well, let me
Good
say hi
having
first.
you.
Anthony, let me say hi first to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Well, we just got started, everyone. This is Michael Connon representing TooMedToo. We've got your fix. And today is our normal Monday night Melee live chat. So anybody wants to get on the screen with Rural Farm Boy and myself, feel free. We were just talking about Charlie Skywalker, and there he is. Girls with Sabers have joined us. It's an honor to have both of you with us. Yes, a melee. I don't know. I talked to a bunch of people today that said that they were interested in maybe coming on. So I sent about 5 or 6 invites. So maybe we'll get one of them.
Mr. Rez T, howdy, buddy.
So which one of the girls do we have with us?
I'm gonna go and guess it's Miss Luthien.
Is Rural Farm Boy correct?
So speak up, GWS. Let me know if I'm right or wrong.
No, I was holding myself out today.
It's Emrys, Miss Emrys.
Oh, are you getting it on YouTube before I'm getting it on?
Yeah, I'm watching the YouTube chat room. It's Miss Emrys.
Okay, I see that now. Hi, Emrys.
Glad to have you here, girl.
If you want to pop on the screen with us, all I gotta do is send you the link, and you can pop on and talk with us. You can do what Anthony does sometimes, and just leave the screen blank because he's in his underwear or whatever he's doing. Doesn't want people to see him dressed properly.
No. I'm fully dressed. Don't go down that way.
I mean, if I didn't, I might be sitting around in my boxers right now if I didn't have anything to do. But
I can see you on screen and you ain't, so we're all good.
I'm in the second recording studio because my girlfriend took the day off of work, so she doesn't get any days off. She has to take days off. So but that's what happens. You open up a new restaurant, and that's what you gotta deal with. But so I started the new. You can see my advent calendar behind me.
Yes,
I started my new series. Yeah, it's. I think that's the only way I'm going to get rid of my pile of. It's mostly books. We've gone through in these most of the things that aren't books, but I mean, I'm still looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 things right now that aren't books. I'm probably sitting on another 3 or 4, and then there's a couple in the room. So maybe not as bad, but those other ones are kind of big. But I had a really nice one that I got for tomorrow. I think I was talking about how that first one that I opened, that book, the art of it was the deluxe version or whatever of the art of Fallen Order. And then the next one I open is the Palpatine Black Series one. And then this one that I opened up today for tomorrow is a really nice one. I think so far it's the best out of the 3 so far. Oh, and looks like we got Charlie coming on.
Howdy do.
How are you doing, Charlie?
Oh, wonderful evening.
DJ, howdy, buddy.
So
a little bit of a delay, but that's all right.
So first, I want to say, that I think Resistance is a great show. I know we may have heard some other people saying that they didn't like it, or it wasn't up to their expectations or whatever. But you know, it's a kid show, and that's peppered with some adult stuff, or things for adults to like, and then you have it might not have a lot to do with the storyline of what's going to happen in 7, or it might, and you won't know until the series is over or something happens. It could be this entire series. All it does is makes one scene better. Well, if it makes that one scene better, or there's something that happens in that one scene, and you know about it, you have a better understanding than just the casual people. Well, then for me it was worth it. What is it? It's 20 minutes, 20 minutes every
20,
Sunday.
22.
To
22 minutes.
watch. So
Yep.
Yeah.
and it's entertaining, and I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. But I mean, yeah. If you don't like it, then that's fine. But I think there's a lot more depth to it, and I thought when the episode with, I can't think of the name of it now, but with the relic, the
The Relic Raiders.
relic raiders. I thought that was
Yeah.
gonna. I was telling you guys. I thought that was gonna tie into. Um, I can't think right now. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. What was the last book that we just read? Um,
Resistance Reborn.
no, after that,
After that.
Force Collector. Force
Oh,
Collector.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Yep.
so I thought those were going to tie in together somehow, um, because when I went down my rabbit hole that one night with a couple of people, um, they just made it seem like the book was going to be more about different than what it was. Talking with when I talked with, I didn't talk with the author of Kevin Shanick. I didn't talk with him,
Shinnick.
but I talked with um, Zordina Cordova. I think I butchered that name a little bit, but and I talked with her, and she said no, the where my ideas were going weren't right. That it was going to be more along the lines of, I thought it was like she made it seem like it was more like an Indiana Jones relic hunting kind of thing. So when I saw that episode of the Relic Raiders, I was really excited. I mean, I still love the book. It just was something completely different. So, um, it's just what's going to happen. And now we're dealing with holocrons more, and Sith artifacts, and books, and in cartoons. So, I said the whole time, like right after Celebration, and a couple people had some crazy ideas that I was with, because they're crazy motherfuckers out there. But I said the whole time that it was going to be. I thought it was going to be Sheev in a holocron, and like his essence or whatever was going to be stuck in there, and that like his essence was going to be stuck in there, like we find out from earlier comic books, or from the comic books, that they couldn't be force ghosts, but they could have their essence and things, and they could possess masks and whatnot. That he was going to be in a holocron until someone opened it, and then he was going to something to do with that. So my original idea might not be right on, but I think it's still going to be something to do with that. I don't think he's alive, floating around, and wherever he is or isn't. I'm just reading this really quick.
So let me give it a little bit of a shout out in the chat room. We got Pete from Jam Transmissions. We got Charles from Conversations, and also Miss Emrys from Girls with Sabers. Welcome, friends.
And Charles is Charles wants me to open up that Palpatine. He wants me to.
Yes, he does.
I said, when I'm opening up any of these things for my Star Wars Advent calendar, if you want me to go in depth in books, I can't say right now what they are because I opened up. I got a couple day advanced start, so I don't have to do it every day. So I got the next 2 or 3 days done, so that if I get time tomorrow or Wednesday, I can pop out 2 or 3 really quick, and that gets me through the weekend. And then who knows when the 15th rolls around, there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to be coming out that I'm supposed to be getting from GameStop. A bunch of little figures are supposed to be being delivered that day. I think about 15 or 20 of them. Because I don't collect Funko Pops, just as long as everyone knows that. I still don't collect Funko Pops.
No, Michael does not collect Funko Pops.
Nope.
We all know we all know that now.
Yep. I have a couple. I have a couple.
Though Charlie Skywalker seems to think that, Michael, you're cheating. So he's got to speak up for himself because I don't know how you're cheating. So, DJ, how do you think he's cheating?
What am I cheating on?
You got to ask DJ that one because I was just reading what he wrote. DJ's booing GameStop.
I mean, I don't. Depending on the day, I don't always have time to sit down and record and pick something out. So,
No, sir, you don't.
That's why it's. That's why I made it clear that it's not a, a religious thing, or really, it's just kind of what I'm calling it because that's my excuse or my way to make sure I get 25 things opened before Christmas.
Exactly that.
So there's no cheat involved. I am slick with it though. I do sometimes wear different clothes. I'll change my T-shirt or whatever, just to make it look. If somebody's watching that doesn't know me, they'll think I'm actually doing it every day. But whatever.
Only sometimes though. Only sometimes.
Oh yeah, I did it the other day, and then I did it last night I did it for today, and then today I did 3 days, and I did another video also, and then I have another 2 videos in there of merch that I need to put up, but I don't want everything to come out all at once, so I'll wait on that other one. And then I still have those 2 interviews sitting there. So I have the interview with Dominic Pace and the interview with George Mann. That just because, I don't know, I just haven't got a chance to put them up yet, so they're not there. But
Charlie says he'd open them all at once, 25 days, all at once. You surely would, buddy. You surely would. Me too. I think I'd be on that same page. I'd open them. I couldn't hold all day for day. I'd open them up all at the same time.
Well, we don't know what on day 25 what that's going to bring. I mean, I've told you guys most of the stuff that I know I have laying around, and it's some pretty good stuff. So it's not like I got some pretty decent stuff and some decent books. All the books that I got signed at New York Comic Con that I still haven't done a video for are still sitting there. But
whoa,
oh yeah,
DJ got a personal voicemail from Dominic Pace the other day. What's that all about? I want to know what that is. Wow.
he bought some of his merch.
Oh, okay. Oh, I want to say it was that the coin that Dominic's selling?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that one, and he's got a special of everything on there, and it's like $35 or $40 off. So you get the so it's like $60 or $70. I forget exactly what it was, but yeah, the coins look good.
They look great. Yes, Miss Emerus, that's right, girl. This is the way. And yes, Pete, Jam Transmissions, that coin does look so sweet. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, they were talking about figures and prototypes. So, all right. Now, what else? Oh, so my question is for Emerus. If so, a Raylo do you consider someone a Raylo if they want Raylo to happen, or if they think Raylo is gonna happen? Because they're two completely different things.
Yes, they are.
Well, most people that want Raylo to happen think it's going to happen, but there's people that think it's going to happen, but they don't want it to happen. And then why is it Raylo? Why is it Raylo and not Ren? Because they're not going to get together with Kylo Ren. It's going to be Ben. So they're using the wrong person's name for their thing. Because I mean, you know, if Raylo happens, I'm happy for all the Raylo people that want it to happen. You know, I honestly want it to happen more than not, so that all the people that, all the assholes that are out there that don't want it to happen don't get to walk around gloating and being happy about it. Because I don't feel like dealing with their shit for the next movie, 3 years, the next movie comes out, or forever, whatever it is. But so,
well, in the chat, Miss Emmer says Raylo equals Ben plus Ben Solo with a winky eye. Let's see what else she got to say. I don't think she's done just yet. So, Michael, you and me both follows everything that Making Star Wars Jason Ward puts out, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So even just today in my workday, their latest podcast dropped in my playlist, and I gave it a listen.
But there's a lot.
According to what Mr. Ward says, I believe what he says, how the end of the story is coming up, and I don't think folks are ready for that, because I'm pretty sure girls with sabers don't follow Making Star Wars.
Well, I he doesn't make stuff up. And he always verifies his sources. That's why the majority of the stuff, the majority of his stuff is true or on. But there's things that you don't know. Maybe it was shot like that, and maybe they reshot it and it's completely different. Maybe they shot it like that and never. I've been saying the whole time that I think JJ purposely shot things that he never intended to use, and extra footage, and there's things around. They did 8 different endings, and whatever. I don't really know if that's true or not, but I just think that he purposely shot some stuff to mislead what was going to be leaked out there. Because if he just shot one straight movie straight through, which usually doesn't happen, they usually, even for every movie, they have a couple different variations. That's how people get cut out of movies or TV shows. That he would. I think JJ just did it more deliberately, and he wants an exciting He
Yeah,
wants.
Miss Emrys, Miss Emrys, I know you stay away from them unless folks ask you to discuss them. And I'm thinking she still wouldn't give a look or listen to what he's talking about because since them reshoots and everything that happened since, they've been talking about how it's going to end, and I think what MSW's got is very on point. But I'm not gonna go and speak on it because I'm not gonna go pass off spoilers to our friends. But I think he's on point for what he said.
I mean, he has been for pretty much everything this whole time.
Yep.
Everything that he's brought out. You know, I commented. I told him that without going into it, that I thought it was a dream sequence. I didn't think it was actual.
Mm.
You know, I think that it actually, you know, it might happen. It might have happened, or it might have been shot, or whatever it was. But you know, I just don't think that it is real because it's just, you know, it's a, you know, I don't know. We can't really talk about it without talking about it. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna go spoil friends for the things I heard.
what is everybody doing for? What is everyone doing for opening day or opening night? What are your plans, Anthony?
Well, for me, this past weekend, I had my middle girl and my youngest girl, and I asked them what they wanted to do because come December 20th, they're not to be with me. So I asked them to let me know if we're going to go see this together or are you going to go see and I'm going to go see by myself because we ain't missed a new Star Wars story since, well, we ain't missed one. We've been together to see Force Awakens, and we've been together to see Rogue One and Solo, and then The Last Jedi. So I'm hoping I get to pick them up and we go get to see Rise of Skywalker together. But, well, in the days to come, I'll post up and see. I'll let you know whether or not I get to see it with my girls or not, because it's not my time to spend with them. It's that's their mom's weekend. But come hell or high water, I'm gonna get to go see that with or without them. So we'll see what that'll be. But and I'll keep anything that I go and see for nearly a week about what
Yeah,
that story is.
we got Charlie said he's going to be in the theater. Just go. Wow, that's the first time I ever. Never mind. Whatever. I'm back now. Charles says that he's going to be with the family on the 19th, and on the 20th he'll be with Pat. Kilo Customs is here. Kilo, it's going to be his 40th birthday, and he's going to go see it. So that's going to be his birthday present.
Wow. Happy early birthday, Kilo.
Emrys, what are the girls doing? What are you doing? I am.
She's going to be in the theater with friends. At a girl.
I will be. I didn't take the day off. I'm working in the morning. I'm working a morning shift, so I'll get out of there at 3. So should I be out of there about 3:30? Get home by 4. Walk the dogs, take care of them. Take a quick shower. 5 o'clock, be out of the door. And then I got to be up to Queens, New York, for somebody that was born and raised there. Has a little theater rented out. and 7:30 show, 8:30 show. I forget what it was. You know, when you're
Somebody that was born and raised there. Are you
yep,
speaking of maybe Michael Pappas?
that could be a good possibility. How'd you guess, Anthony?
How'd I guess?
Yeah,
Because I'm a regular listener of Rogue One. That I get to hear Michael there. That he keeps telling on himself in a good way. He told me about himself, so
and
that's
then
how I know that. So good on you.
well, you're supposed to
Can't wait
say
to see what you
you're
think.
supposed to say because you watch him every week when he comes on here and talks about the Mandalorian with me. But
If I can find time in my playlist for that, because my playlist, I'm struggling to keep up, and that's just the audio. Never mind the YouTube, and I keep trying to find time for YouTube in my playlist.
oh, Emers, thank you very much
Wow,
for stopping by. I will see you in the near future um, because you
Miss
have
Emerus, may the
a good
force be with
show.
you, girl.
Oh, that's right. Charles is new to Rogue One because he heard us talking about it all the time and then finally decided to listen. Oh yeah, my playlist. You know, it's just my playlist has really gone down. Especially when at work times I'd be able to rebel. You know, I was able to rebel the one day or 2 days in a row, and then couldn't rebel for a day or two, and then had a bunch of videos to make, and you know, talking with you guys for a couple hours today, and I was home doing other stuff, and I made, um, you know, 4 or 5. They were short videos, but still, you got to start and stop and set everything up and you know do your thumbnail, and it's still for me, um, I'm not the fastest at setting everything up and editing, so it still takes me a few minutes to get everything going, and
Mm-hmm.
the program I'm using is too advanced for me, so I do what I can to try and learn it, but
Mm-hmm. I feel you with that technology. I feel you.
it's watch a video on YouTube for an hour so they can explain to you how to do something that should take 2 minutes, um, or it takes you a half hour to do it every time until you learn it yourself. So it's usually that half hour every time so you can learn it yourself because you don't have that hour to lose. But it's not the smart way in the long run. But so, but then we have Charlie Skywalker had a question today that he had asked me, and I have no idea what it was. My Sabres are destroying the Devils 7-1 in the second period.
Um,
But what did
Charlie's question. I'm gonna
yeah,
go
he asked
take a
me?
look at that. I'm gonna go take a look at that right now because he messaged me in that Twitterverse was the future, the cinematic future of Star Wars was his question, and what we think the cinematic future of Star Wars stories gonna be. And I hope I got that right because I'm looking
Yep,
at it right now.
that was pretty much what it was. I just looked at it really quick. Well, my answer and your answer aren't going to be anywhere near the same.
None of us, none of us answers going to be the same. It's all
Well,
going to be
because
something
I
different.
still think it's going to be a continuation at some point of
Of
th-
of
of
what?
this saga. You're going to have Rey and Finn and Poe and Kylo, whoever else, Rose, whoever's still alive after this one. Um, whether it's 4 years from now or 10 years from now, and they say the saga's done, it's over with this, but this is the third time they've said it, and maybe a third time's a charm. Maybe they are gonna, I just think there's gonna be more from people that are in this movie. Yeah, you're not gonna have Luke Skywalker, possibly because I mean he's about 70 in real life. Mark Hamill, close to it, late 60s.
Yeah, mid.
Um,
He's right now. Mark Hamill's 60.
67.
Yeah, 67. That's
Um,
mid.
so I
But
mean,
but
if they wait another 10 years to do it, that's going to make them almost 80. And now how much is he going to want to do it, and how well is he going to be doing going around? If he's still around, and not saying I don't think he's going to be. It's just that's getting up to the the life expectancy time. But so
I'm I'm gonna go and disagree because what we got coming up and where are we at right now, 19 days, that's the end of this story. That's the end of this saga. So any other next coming story is going to be something completely new and different. Whether it includes Rey or Ben or Finn or Poe, that's going to be another new story. This story ends. The end. Every story's got two things. It's got a beginning 42 years ago, and coming up in 19 days, this story ends. The end.
but
Period.
then they decided they didn't like the beginning of the story, so they made a new beginning of the story. So what's not to say that this is the end of the story, that they're going to make another end to the story later on. I mean, they came out with the prequels that started the story off. Yeah, it wasn't the original story. Galactic Pops is here. Thank you. He likes my hat. Most people either love it or hate it. So, no, I mean, they decided we're going to tell the story then of of Darth Vader and the Chosen One and everything else, because before that there was no Chosen One, and then they decided there was a Chosen One, and now no one knows who the Chosen One is, because in Rebels, Obi-Wan tells Darth Maul for his second death that that Luke's the Chosen One. Now we have Rey as the Chosen One, even though they haven't come out and said it. Some of the things that JJ's last interview that he did on Good Morning America said, there's a reason that Rey is so strong and powerful in the Force, or basically said she's not a Mary Sue. There's a reason she's that way. And is it that she's, and I'm not saying I agree with anything, but is that she's a clone of Palpatine? Is it that she's a relative of Palpatine? Is she a relative of a Skywalker, Kenobi, or whatever? Or is she the chosen one of that every generation has a chosen one? That's how the Force balances itself. And Sheev Palpatine, that's what Freddie Prinze Jr., when he had his thing, and said that the Force, that Palpatine knew that Anakin was the chosen one. If he kills off Anakin in Revenge of the Sith or whatever time, before that the Force is just gonna make another chosen one. So what he had to do is he had to take the chosen one, the light side, and turn it dark, so that he would have time to learn how to keep himself alive. Because when Palpatine told, I was going to say Luke, when Palpatine told Anakin that the story of Darth Plagueis, the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, that he didn't know yet how to save a life or save his own life. He still needed time to do that. He needed Darth Vader. He needed Anakin to become evil to give him time to figure out how to do this. And, which is a whole, right now it's still crazy speculation and talk until we see the movie. But did he says in the throne room or whatever, that he foresaw what was happening. So did he know the entire time that Darth Vader was going to throw him down the shaft? And if he knew that the whole time, then he had this set up and knew that he needed this time then to, let the 30 years pass for him to grow even stronger and let Raylo happen. I mean, right now it's just crazy theories and talking, but until we see what happens, and probably then even when we see what happens, we're still going to be able to talk and debate and have these conversations on, whether it was blue light. Why did the blue lightning fly up? Because did he go to, even though it wasn't the intention at the time, the intention was that he was killed, but then they decided we were going to make more movies and I want to write more stories and we're going to make more money. So then, now the blue lightning that came up wasn't him falling and dying. It was him using the force powers to do whatever it is that he did to keep him from dying. And before he hit the ground, he floated off like we see a lot of the Jedis have done when they're falling, and mostly in the comics, which are still canon, so they count just as much as the movies until the movies say they don't. That they're falling and they stop themselves a couple of feet or a couple inches before they hit the ground. Why didn't maybe so now it retconned that and we don't know that, and that's what Sheev did. And for whatever reason, or God forbid he went to the world between worlds, because then that puts in time travel and stuff like that, which time travel is different than I don't know. I think it's who was it that did something about Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull? One of our friends did it, Rural Farm Boy. Was it Jam's Transmissions?
No.
Bombad cast?
You might be onto a thing there. Yeah, it wasn't.
I don't know.
Weren't the JT Conboys?
Okay. So someone was doing it and they had sent me a message and said, "Hey, if you wanna weigh in on this, go ahead and weigh in." And I hadn't seen the movie and since it came out or whatever, and I never really thought it was that bad. But I think the reason that most people shit on Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull is because at the end of it, they're expecting the normal Indiana Jones thing. I mean, where it's tangible people that you're fighting against. Well, with the exception of, I mean, you have, I don't know what the Indian voodoo is, and you have the Knights of Templar, and so it's still not like that. But then instead of, if they would have said it was aliens, that would have been fine. People would have accepted it if it was aliens. But people said that, or they said that it was interdimensional beings, so beings from another dimension, and that people can't even, we can barely even comprehend aliens and whether or not they're real or not. How are we supposed to comprehend something that we don't understand at all, that's not tangible, we can't see other dimensions, we don't know if they actually do exist? You get into the whole thing. That's why I'm fascinated with string theory and the bending of time and being able to slingshot around if your space vehicle was fast enough around gravity and black holes, and whether or not you have wormholes, and I mean all that stuff. My astronomy teacher that I had a couple semesters ago would get so mad at me because I'd start talking about things and he worked for NASA. He was one of those like brilliant guys who just taught because he wanted to, and only taught a couple days a week, every now and then. He had to be in his 70s or whatever, but brilliant guy and knew everything. And very, very opinionated on a lot of the well-known astrophysicists that we know that he claims are quacks or jokes that because of certain things, they that's why they're followed, or people like them. But he would get so mad at me because I'd bring up these questions, and it's just a regular astronomy class, and I'll bring up astrophysics and wormholes and things like that. And then he couldn't teach the class because everyone's asking questions about what I brought up. So he had to have a talk with me and tell me not to talk about things like this in class. That if I wanted to talk to him, I'd have to come to his office after class. I went to his office a lot of times after class, and he didn't like that because that was his lunch period. And I'd go and bother him on his lunch period because he wouldn't let me talk. But it's fascinating shit. But I don't even know where this tangent came from. I know I was talking about the crystal. That's why people don't like the crystal skull. Oh yeah. So James, how you doing? Saw you here. If people can't even comprehend the things that are shown in the movies or in the cartoons, how are they supposed to then even be able to rationalize what's going to happen in this movie? And like we were going back to the spoiler, it's kind of so far out there that it's not, because if I think people are going to be upset that if what it is found out now, I can't even talk about it because there's no way for me to talk around it. So yeah, I just don't think whatever. I don't know. Okay, that was everyone lost a few minutes of their life on that.
No, that there tangent, Michael, comes from the back of your mind, as it does for each and every one of us, and it's all good. But I want to go and speak to Charles Westcott. Asked me in the chat room, and this is from a little bit ways back. If Charles asked me, do I think if Mr. Filoni, also said Dave Filoni, will be the heir to George Lucas, or will it be story by committee? And I'm going to go and say no. Dave Filoni is a creative, as is Jon Favreau. They're not executives. They're creatives. They create stories. There's no way that Dave Filoni's going to step up and sit in that seat and head Lucasfilm. He's a creative. He creates stories. He creates alongside other creatives. In my mind, he's got no knowledge how to guide that whole big story group. And I don't speak of the Lucasfilm story group. I speak of all of Lucasfilm. He creates stories. He's not going to go and head that up of all of Lucasfilm. He's going to continue to create stories. Somebody else, after Miss Kathy, in 3 years, goes whichever way she chooses to go. It's not going to be Dave Filoni taking over. It's not going to be Jon Favreau taking over. They're story creators. That's what they do. They make up stories. They're going to stay right where they are, telling us these stories. Somebody else also said not Kevin Feige. He's also a creative. He's also an executive, but in my mind, he's not taking over Lucasfilm. That's let them, few folks that are what I call the loud few, let them alone. Don't pay them no mind. Let them to their own. And when time comes, we'll see what happens at Lucasfilm. But for right now, Miss Cassie's in charge, and Dave, and John, are telling us Star Wars stories. Let yourselves, along with me, be told Star Wars stories. Not for us to say.
I mean, I pretty much agree with that. But if it did happen, it wouldn't surprise me because Kathleen Kennedy was a creative for years. She was a producer.
Many. For 40 years.
You know, and the only reason she got the job is because George Lucas trusted her because she was a creative the whole time, as far as I know. You know, as a producer, and he said, "Okay, I'm giving up my company. You're going to run my company now." And because George Lucas picked her, it wasn't Iger. George Lucas said, "Okay, I'm giving up my company. I'm selling it to you guys, but here's the person taking over for me," because he knew she would. She had the same vision or the same knew what his vision. I shouldn't say the same of his vision. She knew what his vision was, more so than anybody else.
He taught her.
More so than anybody else.
She was handpicked.
So, I mean, I don't think the other guys want it. I don't think Favreau and Filoni really want it. I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked with them.
No, they have a different job to do in putting together parts of telling us stories. They're creatives. That's what they do, is putting together stories to tell us.
Oh, hang on. James likes my shirt. Everybody likes my shirts and shit.
Well, you got a biker scout on your shirt. I was a biker scout once in the Empire. Who don't love biker scouts? I love me some biker scouts.
Over here. And there's that for
you. Yep, right there.
My little coat. Obviously, I can't really wear that right now, and you know, New York. It's kind of today was all right. You know, it wasn't too cold, but it snowed a little bit. Nothing really stuck on the ground, but you know, it might be now. I don't know if it temperature dropped at all. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're gonna do it. I think they're probably gonna bring in someone else. They're probably gonna bring in someone that we don't know of. I'm saying we, as in people are like that. I mean, unless you're in like the movie business and really follow the studios and things like that, I don't think that we're gonna know who they are.
Whoa, check that out. 74Z speeder bike. Yes. I rode one of them once, a long time ago, in the galaxy far, far away.
Oh, those are your favorite? Do you have the Biker Scout Black Series guy?
I used to be a biker scout in the 501st. TV 2066. Used to be many years ago. In the galaxy far, far away. I was also a stormtrooper and a TIE pilot, and I used to be a Royal Guard, and I used to be an Imperial officer. Yeah. RFB used to be in the 501st a long time ago in that galaxy far, far away. But like the folks that are been in the Marines, once a Marine, always a Marine. Once an Imperial, always Imperial. Yeah, that's me.
All right, here we go for you guys. I'm just going to grab that off the shelf.
What you grabbing off the shelf?
Oh, I'm not showing it very well. My camera must be at an angle because it's weird today. I don't know. I can't see what I'm showing you.
Your camera's being weird?
I think it's got a different. I think it's at a weird angle because, like, it's tilted to the side. I mean,
Okay. Kind of like Star Wars, because Star Wars is weird. Always been weird. So maybe your camera is like Star Wars. It's weird. That's a good thing.
There you go. See that now, Anthony?
What's that?
Are you looking at
Oh,
it on?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
Yin's
Oh,
folks in
you're
the chat room seeing that.
you're
Yeah, Charlie's seeing it. He said, that's sweet.
you're all right. So you're
James
listening.
says it's beautiful.
You're
It's
listening.
so
You're listening
beautiful.
on. You're listening on StreamYard, but watching on YouTube. I'm guessing. So.
I'm
all right.
watching the chat on YouTube, and I'm not watching
Okay.
StreamYard
That's
because I
why.
want to see what folks in the chat room are saying.
Well, I was. Well, that's I was showing you, but I didn't. You weren't seeing it, so.
No, I'm seeing it, and so are they.
I know, but you weren't seeing it real time because of StreamYard. You were seeing it at a different time.
Yeah, Charles, it's friggin' awesome. You got it, buddy. It is. Charlie Skywalker wants to know, can we see the monitor reflection in case that's porn? I love it. I love my Star Wars friends. Mr. Rez wants to know if that's your next giveaway, Michael. I don't think so.
If I hit 600 people by Christmas, that will be my giveaway.
Oh, there you go, friends.
600
There you
active.
go.
They have to be active. You can't go make up 500 or 180 accounts and think you're going to get that. They have to be,
This is the best. This is the best.
Well, because that's so. I did the last one, and we had 2 winners. One of the ones we know, Matt from Blue Bantha.
Blue Bantha Milk Co.
Yeah. He won, and then there was another guy who I don't know who his name, Mike. I said I don't know who you are, so if anybody knows who this is,
Call his name out again.
I'll repost it.
Oh, Trevor's here. Trevor Beast. Yes, buddy.
Hey, Trevor, how you doing?
Mr. Sporkle. Yeah, Trevor Beast does Star Wars trivia that you can find. Just give a Google search for Star Wars trivia and keep a lookout for Sporkle. That's what he does. And his trivia games, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I spent many a minute, probably an hour playing his games. They're a lot of fun.
Okay, the person that won was Mike Moore, 8420. I don't know if that's 8420 or 8420. I don't know if he's a pothead or if he's 25 years old or 35 years old.
Or
I don't
just
know, but
8420.
yeah, Mike Moore 8420. That could be the last 4 of his phone number. So if anybody knows who Mike Moore 8420 is, let him know to watch that video. And he won because he has the choice of the first choice, and then the second choice goes to Matt. But if I don't remember when I made the video, it's been almost a week now, I think. I don't know. I'd have to check and see. But after a week, if I can't find him or he doesn't know, his prize isn't forfeited. But Matt's gonna get the first choice, and if we ever find out or he ever finds out who it is, then he'll be able to get his prize, just long as it's not like a couple months from now he's gonna say, "Oh, hey, I won that prize." Well, sorry, dude, you gotta. If you were being active like you should be, you would have known. So, but we'll see. We'll maybe somebody will figure it out. I'll repost it on Twitter and see. I don't know if it's somebody I know from Twitter or somebody from one of the Facebook groups or some of the Facebook pages that I don't really go into. I just use it to throw these up there or whatever it is. Oh, Charlie Skywalker, I need to see your state issued ID that says that your name is Mike. But so everyone's pretty much in agreement then that we're not going to have Filoni or Favreau take KK's position. From what I saw, what I understand.
Yeah, I'm very much in agreement with that. No, that's not going to happen, in my opinion.
So, what else?
That's my opinion. So, what some folks in the chat thinks.
No one really said much. Everyone just said, "Yeah, we agree. We agree." Along those lines.
Though it ain't up to us, but we'll see what happens coming up. We still got her contract ends in 2021, so and she's still putting her mind to it and giving a guess, I think, about what she wants to go and do. So we'll see what happens. But whatever happens, it will be with the best of intentions, because that's what Lucasfilm does, if folks are paying that attention.
I don't think the maker will ever come back, not to the capacity to actually run Lucasfilm. He might come back like he has been and give his opinion and whatnot on things, but I don't think he's never going to be able to. I don't think he wants to. I mean, come in and work 10, 12, 20-hour days. Yeah, you live a cushy life, but why? He's already done it, and then if he did come back, you would definitely see the continuation of the saga, and then I could just laugh at Earl Farmboy.
No, you're exactly on point, Michael. His opinion will always be looked for and valued and included, even if he's not directly involved right straight up front. But no, as long as the Force allows him to be here with us, folks are going to be asking for his opinion and his, I'll go and say, guidance. He's not going to be directly included, but the new storytellers that are telling us these new stories, like Rise of Skywalker and Mandalorian and Resistance. Well, no, not Resistance. Scratch that. But them first two, yeah, folks are going to be asking for what he thinks. And he's going to go have some input. And it's all right if we don't know exactly what that is. But he's got a hand in it, because they want to know, they value his opinion. Lucasfilm does. even though he's not directly included with, but George is still involved. You can count on that.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna really want to, you know, like I mean, on a serious note, actually be there on movies and on a full time or even a part time basis or whatever. I think he likes to just show up and talk to his buddies, whoever they are. Whether it's Ron Howard, and he tells Ron Howard, Han wouldn't hang up the coat; he'd just throw it on throw it in there, kind of like I do with a lot of my clothes. You got enough clothes there, you can just kind of throw it in there, and it'll stay. You don't have to even have to hang it. Then you just pull it out, take it in the shower with you, let the steam get the wrinkles out. Perfect. Why hang anything up when you don't have to? But or when he was on the set of The Mandalorian, I think he finds out what's going to be on that day and what's going to be, you think it was a coincidence he showed up on the day that they were in the Millennium Falcon? Nope. I think he said, when are you going to, what's going on this day? What's going to happen when? And he said, oh, I want to be there on that day. And he shows up. Or the cantina scene in The Mandalorian. They shot the cantina scenes for episode 1 and episode 3 over 10 days or 11 days, I think. Maybe it was 13. I don't know, but it was somewhere between 10 and 13 days. You think it was just a coincidence he showed up on one of those days and, not another day that was, I don't know, whatever other time for filming. I think he goes and he shows up when he wants to show up and he does what he wants to do. And, what happens when he goes there and he is, I think somebody said, an assistant gaffer, and he's the assistant gaffer. And he gives a suggestion, and whoever the director is or producer or whatever it is doesn't listen to him or doesn't want to take his advice because that's not how they see it. What happens then? Well, does he go have a temper tantrum and say, whoever the new leader is, listen, I told this person this is what they should do and they didn't listen to me. Well, you're just a gaffer. How's that gonna work out? But I just think he likes to roll in there and be idolized and roll back out and do his little part, do his thing. But Bryce Dallas Howard did an amazing job on the Mando. I believe so also. One of my friends that I went to high school with sent me or commented on today on my video that I did on that one, saying that he's not trying to be a fanboy or whatever, but he didn't think it was a good episode, and it was too much of this and too much of that. The Seven Samurai, or the other things that people are criticizing it about, and the whole time that I've done my reviews with Mike and other people, they talk about how you can tell how heavily influenced this show is by other people, or by other genres, or it's a Western, but it has the Indiana Jones vibes when the Mandalorian is trying to climb up with the Jawas, and a scene out of that, and no one really ever took it away. This was, I think she did an amazing job. Yeah, she's a director. She didn't write the episode. The episodes are already written. The episodes are written by the creative types, which she is. She's just a little different type of creative type. So she directed it the way that she saw fit. And I don't know if it was because they were in, the rice patties and everything. I'm assuming everyone watched my video, so everyone knows what I'm talking about. But I said how it seemed more of like I know in this what the people were saying about how you train people how to fight or whatever so they can help you and do everything. But I saw a lot more of like um, a Rambo vibe when not the original Rambo movies, but the later Rambo movies. One of the ones where he's in Vietnam, or I don't know. I'm not saying I don't
Yeah,
in
that's right.
Thailand
You're right.
or whatever, and he's training the villagers how to fight against the army or whatever it was. Now I don't know if people came out and said that about that movie, or if it's just a common thing that happens. You have, if that's part of the hero's journey. Part of the hero's journey for these things might be going and teaching people how to fight and defend themselves. That was exactly what, and I talked about in the video. That is exactly what Ray's third lesson was that we never got to see because they cut the shit because they wanted to keep it under their fucking time crunch, which caused a big problem because it was teaching Ray that, you need to think and how you're going to do things. So these pirates come once a month and destroy the the city or the town where the groundskeepers are, and you're going to go and fight them off and attack them. Well, what happens the next month when they come back? They're going to be even worse and even more vicious. And instead of just, pillaging and plundering, they're going to rape too. So, instead of just, you got all three instead of just two out of the three, or, whatever happens to be. And Ray can't handle that because she can't, she can't see the injustice. She can't stand by where there's injustice going on. And, um, that was like the perfect thing here. No, I don't know. It's just there's so many things that if you keep making movies and television, people that influenced you are always going to be influenced. So in 30 years, when they're making more Star Wars, the people that grew up watching Star Wars, I'm talking about, little kids or teenagers, and they've never seen any of the other movies or the Seventh Samurai or anything like that. They're not going to be able to reference, oh, well, that movie was this. They're going to be able to, it could be subconsciously that they're pulling this up on what to do and how to train them. And you know um it's kind of the same thing with the Ewoks. The Ewoks are a little bit more advanced and could fight a little bit more, but you needed the rebels to come in and help out to be able to defeat the Empire. So his thing about he didn't like it because it was too much like the Seventh Samurai, and that movie was way better than the show or whatever. And
I think I want to go back that up, Michael,
well, I
by
did.
maybe I want to go. I want to go take that back like a couple miles because, in a good way, you took that on for a little bit, but you started out with Miss Bryce Dallas Howard and what all she done to tell us the story, and so did Miss Deborah Chow in
Yep.
her own way. Each of them two had a hand in telling us the part of this story in their own way. And the force was with them. It surely was with them. And I got a issue with folks having problems with girls being included in Star Wars. Because when I was a 10-year-old boy, I was that 10-year-old naive farm boy back in 1977. And who took me to see that very first Star Wars story what we now call as a new hope. And maybe you heard me say on some friend shows, there was 2 teenage girls lived across the way from me that already knew what this story was, and they was fans of it. And they come ask my mom if they could come take me to see what this Star Wars story is. So I'm here to tell anybody that's listening that Star Wars ain't just for boys. 2 girls, 2 teenage girls, 7 years older than me, as a naive 10-year-old farm boy, took me to see that story. So Star Wars ain't just for boys. It's for everybody. 2 teenage girls took me to see it. They was fans. Star Wars is for everybody. So if you see haters trying to shut girls out of Star Wars, pay them no mind. Don't say a word to them. Because Star Wars is for everybody. Girls and boys included. And if you disagree with me, then you might want to go have some words with Miss Emrys and Miss Luthien, them girls with sabers, because they're Star Wars fans too. And they're girls, but they're fans just like both of us. And everybody in the chat room.
Oh, the guy I'm talking about, I don't think he was saying it because of her being a girl, or that he was just talking about it in general. But yeah, I mean, Star Wars is for kids, but everybody can enjoy it.
Yep.
You know,
I'm a 53-year-old, 12-year-old kid right here. And I'll always be a kid when it comes to Star Wars. Don't matter my age. I'm a kid. And also when I'm sitting here with my Star Wars friends, I'm a kid. Yins make me a kid.
So remember last week I had the mint chocolate Twinkies or whatever they were.
Last week? I don't remember no mint chocolate.
Maybe 2 weeks. Maybe
Twinkies.
2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I have orange creamsicle Twinkies now. And
well, there's a good thing. That's a good thing.
They're not that good, but I got them from the store for $1 for the box. So they're 10 cents a piece because they expired last month. They're Twinkies. They're still good. Like, come on. So you're going to, instead of being $4, they're going to be $1. I'll take it. But, you know, that just means I can spend more money on toys. Yeah.
I gotcha.
I ate expired food so that I can buy Black Series.
That's the expiration date extends 7 days past, so you're still good.
Twinkies, I think it's 7 years past.
You're killing me. Yeah, maybe it might be 7 years. Maybe it might be. Ay.
Oh, so going back to Charlie's question.
What was Charlie's question? I've been skipping out on the live chat.
Oh no, we just the same argument you and I have every week about how you say that the saga's over after this one because they told us and it's got a beginning and an end, and I keep saying nope, they're gonna make more. And
no, the story's over. I keep saying it. Every story's got 2 things. It's got a beginning and an ending, and the ending's coming up. It ends
until they make another end.
What other end? The end is when you close the book. The story's over.
Not when you write another. Not when you write another sequel trilogy after it. That's still continuing it. You know,
that's a new story. that book's been closed. Then you start writing more new stories.
That's going to be the same thing continued. They're gonna because it's going to dwell with the same people, and it's going to be. It's not like all right, just because we used before an Indiana Jones story where you have the Temple of Doom.
I'm just laughing at James, Rebel Scum. He's just created 421 new accounts.
Yeah, you wanted that biker.
I love you, James.
Anyways, all right.
Buddy.
Well, we'll continue this next week. This argument on whether it's going to be over or not. But I think we're going to have things like Dr. Afra on screen.
I so hope so. I love her. Even though I ain't been able to keep up with her stories, but through some friends and some podcasts, I've been trying to keep up with her story, and yeah, Dr. Afra's just the best. Thank you, James. My feelings are mutual for you too, buddy.
But so like, all right, so you got Dr. Afra or other people that they're going to introduce, and who says that they can't do? Maybe the Dr. Afra movies aren't going to be as high budget with $200 million or whatever it is. Maybe they'll keep it cheap, like 100 million, 150 million, because they can get away with it's Indiana Jones in space and a chick instead. Actually, I was told today that I'm not supposed to say chick because it's derogatory.
That's not derogatory. That's donated for some folks. But what if it ends up as a Disney Plus Star Wars streaming story? I mean, look what they're giving us right now, and what's yet to come.
Anthony, make some room. You got to slide over, make some room.
For what? For who?
Charlie Skywalker's back.
Guess who's
Bring
back?
on DJ. Bring on DJ. Put him up.
We just came back talking about you. We started talking about you, and then went off on whatever tangent, and then we came back. We always come back. It might just take a half hour or whatever.
That's all right.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm finally back home and on the Wi-Fi, so I should have plenty of service now.
All right.
But so, like what you were saying about the Indiana Jones, and I commented about it in the live chat, but not sure if it came through or whatnot. It's the same thing happened with Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull that happened with The Last Jedi. Those movies were not what people fit into their already preconceived notion of this is Star Wars. It's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be this. They went in a different direction. They changed up a little bit, and people disliked it just because it didn't fit their personal objectives of what it should be. Instead of letting Star Wars be Star Wars and let it be awesome stories, instead of letting Indiana Jones just be Indiana Jones and having a crazy new adventure, it just didn't fit into what everyone expected, so it got pooed on and no one liked it. It's Star Wars. It's Indiana Jones. Just take it, love it, and just hope for more.
Exactly, DJ. It's never been about what we want. It's about somebody wants to tell you a story. You want to be told a story? Because somebody really wants to tell you one. Not about what we want. And it's what them loud few is doing. They think it needs to go this way and that way. It was never yours. It's not mine. It's not Michael's. It's not Charlie's. It's not James from Rebel Scum. It don't belong to us. It's no, don't matter how hard you hold on to it. It's not about what we want. Somebody wants to tell you a story, a mythology story. You want to be told that story? Because they want to tell you really hard. Just don't try and go tell storytellers how to tell you that story, because it wasn't yours from the beginning. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish so many other folks would grab hold of that and understand, because they're getting in their own way and they don't see that. And if you see them folks doing that, don't say nothing to them. Let them alone, because they're like that loud kid, like Johnny Grasso on Rogue One sees in his classroom. That's that loud kid in the back of the room looking for attention. Don't pay him no mind, because then he goes and shuts up. Let them loud folks alone. Don't pay him no mind. Don't say nothing to him, and they go away. I'm done.
Well, I think it actually it does belong to James.
Well, maybe James. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got, James?
Well, no, it just belongs to James. That's just it. The rest of us are just here for whatever he allows us to have. You know.
That's why I think they're going to go in a different direction if they make more cinematic movies. They can revisit the characters that are in this one, minus the original trilogy or the original cast, Ray or Finn and Poe. Because in my personal opinion, I think Ben will be redeemed and then he'll be gone. So I don't think he'll be in any more. That's why I think they're going to go backwards in time. They'll do uh, a pre Clone Wars Knights of the Old Republic style movies, while they do another soft reset for future that they can bring back some of the characters that they introduced in this one. It's just going to take about 5 years, I think, before we see another cinematic movie. And in the meantime, we'll have Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to think if are they going to put big space battle type movies or things that need big action sequences like Knights of the Old Republic, where you have um, you know thousands of Jedi, but they're all fighting the Sith or whatever it happens to be. So you want to put that on a big screen because that's what you do is you have movies. Game of Thrones did it really well with big battles and everything for their TV program, but and then so you have these big epic you have like these epic movies. Are you just reading James? He's on fire today. Yeah.
Oh, James is always on fire.
I think that it's going to be more like what we saw in, say, episode 4 with the crawl. It gives you a flashback. Hey, this, this is the Republic trying to fight back of the Galactic Empire. They're trying to regain control. If they do something where it's right after Knights of the Old Republic, where instead of having to show like a Attack of the Clones quantity of Jedi that they're having to fight in all these battles, you could take a select few that are trying to escape whatever to further the Jedi Order after the big war that happened at the end of the Old Republic. You start off there instead of having to go and explain the origins of everything, but start off in the middle, kind of like what they did with original Star Wars and A New Hope.
And just going to how you said like the crawl explain everything. I'm reading my I was gonna say my first non-Star Wars book, but that was actually I actually read. Well, I can't think of the Wanderers by Chuck Wendig a couple months ago. That was a good book, but it was like 35 hours long reading time. But I don't know if you guys ever listened to John Justice. He's a talk show host, and I don't know. I'm going to say Minnesota area ish. And he does a Star Wars podcast, My Nerd World. And he's written a couple books, and I'm reading the one book right now. It's 12 hours long, and I read 9 hours of it the other day. I rebelled at work, so it was either podcast or that. Now I got all caught up on my podcast, and now I'm behind again. But it's really good, but it's weird because listening to him talk every week, and then he's also the voice actor or narrator for this book. And it takes place. He has to explain a lot of things because it's a science fiction book. And two corporations end up pretty much controlling everything, and then it's going to be the end of the world. So they're fighting for who's going to be able to control space and space travel and stuff like that. And it's just a little weird because listening to him talk every week and him talking about like Star Wars news and his opinion and everything, and then him explaining these things like when he says, "Oh, an RFB," and then he explains what an RFB is, and it's a really good in-depth conversation or explanation. But it's just like I'm sitting here listening to it, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm thinking in the back of my head like, this is like something that like his book is written like how he would be talking on his show. So it's really weird in that aspect. It's more like, I don't know if it's because I'm doing it by Audible and it's his voice doing it. But if reading it would be different, but it seems more like he's telling me like a history lesson with peppered in with a little bit of, people's opinions or whatever. Not really so much like that. Like, I don't know. It's kind of difficult to explain. I don't know if that really makes any sense. But yeah, that was, so going to explaining things, I don't know. It's also probably more difficult because that's a book. So he needs, when, whatever the flux capacitor is, he needs to explain what it is because it broke. And, in a movie, you see it and you just realize and right away. But, I don't.
That makes sense. I got you.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
I haven't ever tried Audible. I've always just picked up a physical copy of a book and read it. With as much time as I have sitting at a desk at work, I should, I guess, try it out and see if I like the audiobooks. But is that something you'd recommend, our audiobooks?
I recommend them, especially the Star Wars ones, because the Star Wars books are more like a production. There's music and there's sound effects. Mm-hmm. So it's just a little bit.
It's like watching a film without seeing it. You hear everything from the sound effects and the music. It's just what Michael said. You're seeing it and hearing it. You're just not watching it. No. And I second what Michael just said. Yeah, give that a go, DJ. Because just coming from me, I grew up with the original Star Wars audio dramas. from Star Wars to Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I grew up with that after I saw Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. And I gave those a listen, them audio dramas, and I would also go and recommend them if you can find time for it. And then, yeah, dip a toe into Star Wars audiobooks because what they're doing is just like a Star Wars film without the picture. They'll put you there if you can get your mind set to what you're listening to.
That's
It's
cool.
like a movie without the picture. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I've tried like watching different things, Netflix or Disney Plus or whatnot while I'm working, and it's just not the same when you're trying to watch a movie because there's not
No, it's
enough
not.
not enough dialogue, not enough scene setting in
Yeah.
there. So I just basically that's why I just resigned it to and I'll just listen to as many podcasts as possible. And then but I'll try the audiobook. I'll try it tomorrow and I'll let you know how it goes.
So if you can find
Check
time
out.
for, if you can find time for, and you want to give them original audio dramas a listen, DJ, hit me with a DM and I'll hook you up.
Yeah. I'll as soon as we're done here, I'll send you a DM, and I'd love to check them out.
He's gonna mail you the original cassettes.
I maybe might. Who knows? Somebody knows.
That's funny. I was talking to my kids the other day, and I was telling them, "Oh yeah, it's like I used to have that cassette." And they're like, "What's a cassette?" And I'm like, "It's what was before a CD." And they're like, "What do you mean?" And so I had to explain to them and show them pictures of what a cassette was. I felt so old.
No, Mr. Rez, I don't have the good stuff. I just share it with my friends.
Well, talking about feeling old, somebody like the
I'll let yous all know when you're old, okay? Michael? I'll let you know when you're old.
perfect, like the cranberry. I think I've told the story before. The Cranberries came on the radio at work, and I was singing it, and they're like, "Oh, Michael, you like the oldies?" Or like like grunge music and Nirvana is the oldies, and I was like, "No, dude, like you're just wrong. Like that's like not even like you're wrong. Like that's like inappropriate. You don't even know what you're talking about." Um, you know, but
I'll let yous all know when you're old, because I'm the oldest one here. Somebody feeling old? Come ask me. I'll let you know when you're old.
I don't know, I'm 44. I'll be 44 and a half. I'll be September. I'll be 45.
I'm 53, but I'm also a 12-year-old at the same time.
Yeah, you're young.
Because I'm a 12-year-old. You're right.
You wear it well. You wear it well.
Thank you, sir. You humble me.
I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do for my unboxing for today.
Unboxing.
Well, because I know it's in the one box, and I think I know what's in the other box, and I think I know what's in a couple boxes I'm sitting on. But James, you have
Good night, James. May the force be with you.
Have a good one, James.
You have a safe drive, and your snow.
Yeah,
Whatever.
he's got snow. Wish him well. Stay safe, friend.
Yes. Drive fast, take care.
So we can come along next Monday evening.
So yeah, you'll have to pop on the last couple minutes. We're at a minute 34, so you have to check on after that. What I opened up for today, because I got to make sure I have enough for my advent calendar. I'm pretty sure I do. I just don't want it to be all books. But it's
among
like I think
many other boxes Michael has.
Maybe it'll be another CVP.
Ooh, maybe.
I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't bet money on it that I don't have another one somewhere in a box sitting around, but I really don't think that there is. I know I have two of the same book that I got, maybe three of the same book.
Jeez.
But well, that's not my. Some of the books I have extras of because I had to get them signed. So I actually need to do a video just on those to show everyone what I got from Comic-Con and them being signed, and then I can open up the other books and figure out what I'm going to do with those. But it's like I don't know if I got a second pop-up book because the pop-up book I got signed. And I don't want to open that up and have that like be it's signed, so I don't want that to be ruined if it tears when I'm popping something up or whatever, even though they're not supposed to. They're good quality.
Wait. The pop-up book from Matthew Reinhardt? You have two of?
I have one that's signed by him. I got when I was at Celebration, I got my girlfriend the Game of Thrones pop-up book. And when I was at Celebration, he was telling us that they're not to tell anybody, but the next day they were coming out with a Star Wars one, and it wasn't going to be ready, but they were going to have a prototype of it tomorrow, and it was going to be a panel or whatever to come back tomorrow. So we came back the next day and saw it, and I ended up getting one of those when I was at New York Comic Con, and he signed it for me. I was in the autograph line, and I know I ordered one from Amazon or I pre-ordered one from Amazon. I don't remember if I canceled it or not because it's like a $7 book.
Yeah, it's expensive.
And I mean, now it's down to $40, and I knew that would happen, and it was like, okay, I have it, but it's but no, the one, yeah. So no, the other one, they're not. I'm gonna open up one of them today. They're not big, expensive books, but they're whatever. But I think it's going to be that. Oh no, not that book, not the pop-up book. That one I'm not opening. No, what I'm saying is I don't want to open it and do the map and say everyone take a look at the map and see what the map looks like when it's signed and then I pull something out and it rips. Even though they're not supposed to and they're durable or whatever, just Murphy's Law, I pull it out and it rips. Well, now my signed book is ripped. So I'd rather, if I'm going to get one to display and actually play with or whatever, I'm going to have to buy another one. So it's like this one doesn't even count as having one because it's more of for me, a collector's item because it's signed by him. It's like saying if you had two action figures or two Funkos or Black Series, and one of them signed by whoever played them in Star Wars, and the other one you want to be able to take out of the box and play with. It's the same thing. We're just talking about books,
right?
But all right. So what else do we have to talk about? Anything else?
I've only had one thing signed by an author. I actually have a signed book 7 of Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling that I won. I was in New York, and I think it was a Barnes and Nobles. This is years ago, but they're like, who has the biggest Harry Potter fandom? And I actually have a dark mark tattoo on my arm where they're supposed to be, and everybody, of course, was dressed up like a witch or a wizard or whatever, and I just walked up and showed them my tattoo, and it's right after they started showing them on in the movie, and so they're like, well, yeah, you're definitely a dedicated fan, so you win. So I got the signed copy of the book.
Make the last 2 days just Twinkies. Okay, so yeah, I got a bunch of books signed at Celebration, so I had to buy doubles because I had them at my house, and I was there and I had like Delilah Dawson's book. I had it at my house. It just got, it was still in the box. It got delivered that day from Amazon, or the day before from Amazon, and I was there, at Celebration, and like, well, what do I do? And then I was told just send the other book back, and I was like, and it's still sitting there. So, okay.
Oh, you mean Black Spire?
No, I think it was one of her other books, something else. I don't.
Phasma?
No, it's one of. She did a picture book or something like that, or
From Delilah Dawson?
yeah.
Oh, what else did she do besides? She didn't do the Skywalker saga, did she? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Maybe Delilah Dawson Star Wars book.
I'm still hoping to make it down to San Antonio. It's about a 3.5, 4 hour drive from here on the 18th of December and go meet Dominic Pace. So hopefully that will, and he can sign my Mando hat. But that'd be that's a fun trip. I'm still planning on it. So.
Well, I hope that pans out for you, DJ. I hope that really pans out for you. And maybe you might get to meet Brandon Boylan from Clashing Sabers, because he lives down that way, and so does Noah Outlaw. They both live down there in Texas. Maybe you
do
get
they?
to meet them.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they do.
That'd be cool.
What'd you find, Michael?
I didn't find it, and I gave up. We'll find out someday when I open them up.
One day.
While he's still looking, I'll tell quickly the voicemail story. Dominic and I were just messaging each other on Facebook, and we started talking about figures and prototypes, and what it would take for him to actually get a figure in production. And he sent me a message, said, hey, I have to run, but I'll holler back at some point. I was like, hey, appreciate it. Anytime you get a chance, I'm always here to talk Star Wars. And so, I left it at that. And then I got a notification about 2 minutes later that from my voicemail, and I'm like, what in the world's that? And so I listened to it, and he introduced himself, and just wanted to thank me for hitting him up and spreading the fandom, and being positive about his character and the possibility of figures. And he told me some plans that he had that he was trying to work on to get some in production. And it was about a minute and a half long, that voicemail that he left me, and I was like, "Wow, that's just super cool." How many actors, and people that are related to our fandom would take to just message a random fan, that he's talked to a few times in podcasts, or just on a Facebook chat, and just to thank him. I thought that was just super cool.
You know why he did that? Do you know why he did that?
Because he's awesome.
Because he's a fan, just like us, and he appreciates those of us that are just like him. Yeah, he makes the time. That's why he did that. I've heard him say that on he's been on like 36 other Star Wars podcasts, and he takes and makes the time to say that he's appreciative of folks like us that just goes and makes time to give a listen. That's why he does that. He does it because we appreciate him, and he appreciates what we're doing to pick him up. I'm thankful for him, and I ain't never met him.
If you get a chance and you have him on Facebook, if you have Facebook, he has a clip on there from Anonymous Killers, one of his new movie that's coming out next year. Absolutely fantastic. It looks like it's going to be an amazing movie. And he just shows off his acting chops. And yeah, it was really, really well done.
Yeah, that movie does look really good. I am going to definitely see that. Hopefully it's out big enough. Well, I'm in New York City, so they should have it at least at some theater. But
And yeah,
it's the
I did just
Skywalker
look
saga.
up. I did just look up Miss Delilah Dawson. She did the Skywalker saga. That book, that new book that's out right now. She did that.
The one from Luke's perspective?
Yep, she did that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
I don't know why I thought that was Claudia Gray that did that one.
Nah, that was hers, and I've been listening to a couple reviews. Now I'm thinking I might want to have that for my pretty small book collection that I'm looking at down here. Yeah, I think I want to go and have that.
There's excerpts of it on YouTube, and I've listened to a few of them, and it's just, I hear them, and I'm like, ooh, oh wow, that's a cool different way of looking at it, and yeah, I definitely have to. I mean, I live in Roswell. I live out in the country. I am surrounded by dairy farms. The nearest mall is 4 hours away. So
wow.
I don't really get much of a chance for to go book shopping other than online. And there's just I've had a lot of bad experiences shopping online, so I don't do it as much. But yeah, I need to go hit up an actual bookstore so I can look through and thumb through the pages and find exactly what I'm looking for.
So you got things a ways away from you.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, especially if the kids get sick and have to go to the doctor. For any good doctor, it's an all-day trip. So.
Oh, I don't envy you that, my friend. I don't envy
That's
you
why
that.
you need audiobooks. I mean, I did
Seconded right there.
last year. I did. I think. I don't know. I've done. I started doing the audiobooks about 18 months ago, sometime in the middle of last year, maybe April or May. I started doing the audiobooks, and I've done them all. I used to do a lot more. I was doing at least one a week, and then I started doing more podcasts and had more of them completed. But it's not that I don't like podcasts. I don't enjoy and that don't enjoy them, and don't want to get them out there that I'm listening to them and become friends with the people that are doing them, because if I didn't like them, I wouldn't be listening. But this is 2 hours right here that we're spending. I'm not going to put down on my list that I watched myself. You guys are going to put down that you watched me or were here or whatever. And then after this gets done, I still need to put it up there. So I need to render it and make a title and fill out the description and do everything. So there's another whatever amount of time it takes depending on the episode of the show. So that's pretty much done for the rest of the night. I'll put something in when I'm walking the dogs, for the last time tonight, but that's pretty much it. And I put my list up late, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and hey, Cyber Cyclone, how you doing? I'll get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, or one of the dogs will wake me up because they got to go, or whatever it is, and I'll put something on. And
we lost Charlie, because I was just going to go and say that. Is he coming
I'm
back?
still here.
Yeah, he's here. He just muted himself.
Yeah, we got it from the extreme, because there's Michael sitting over there. Well, no, over there.
Oh,
there
yep.
he is. Michael's sitting.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Michael's sitting in the middle of what most folks know is like, what's New York City? New York City, like 10 million people
8, but yeah.
ish, and then there's me, right here in the middle, kind of rural suburbia, as some folks might say, and then there's DJ out there, pretty much middle of nowhere.
He's in the country.
Out here with the aliens.
Yeah, it all comes together right here. From 10 million to what I got around me, like not nearly 5,000, and DJ's maybe got 50. Yeah, it all comes together right here. It's all found right here.
Okay, so do we
Yeah, I'm
want?
in Roswell, New Mexico, so it's yeah, there's nothing out here.
Can't just imagine. I thought I had it rural.
Do we want a Funko mystery box or the smuggler's bounty box? That's the one choice. Or do we want the Target? Or do we want the Target mystery box? So the Target mystery box, you should know what's in there.
We got 3. I'm going Target. If you're asking me, I'm going Target. Even if I don't shop there, I'm going Target.
I was going.
All right, we got one for Target.
Smugglers.
Okay. Mr. Rez and Cyclone, we need to know what you got to say. Smugglers or Target?
Speak up, fellas. Trevor says Target, and Mr. Rez says Target. So
I know Trevor was still here.
All right, Target it is.
It's because they know what it is. That's why.
I don't know what it is. Maybe they do. So let's see what it is. Well, if you're game for it.
Yeah, because I have 2 of them.
Well, maybe I'm behind.
Just a never-ending supply.
Maybe I'm behind. Maybe I'm behind because I don't keep up with what's modern day folks says. I don't keep up with modern day affairs, so I got no clue. Maybe them two do.
But Mr. Rez, he doesn't collect Funko Pops.
Neither does Michael.
That's what I was saying. Michael doesn't collect the Funko Pops.
I most
he thinks
certainly
it's
do
a
not.
Funko Pop that's in the box.
Galactic Pop says she thinks it Wendy's. That's good. I understand that reference.
Would it be a red-eyed 3PO?
No, I don't have any.
I know what causes a red-eyed 3PO, but I'm not going to go and say.
Galactic Pop says, "What's a Funko Pop?" It's the distant cousin to a Jello Pop.
A Jello Pop. Does that have a Gorg inside of it? That's a Star Wars Resistance reference. You take my meaning.
Okay, so, no, actually, I haven't gotten any Black Series. The last Black Series that I purchased were for Triple Force Friday. So anything since then, I do not have or own.
Say Triple Force Friday fast 3 times, Michael.
I don't have the time for that today. Okay, so here we go. Here's our box. Okay.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? All right, we're gonna do it like this so that we can see better. See me, because
You're
now
gonna
I'm
do
the
it like
important
that.
one. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Ah, check that out. Okay, so
Subscribe for more fun.
Didn't we see a photograph earlier today from Rise of Skywalker with Sith troopers that had a box in front of them, and folks was asking, "What's in the box?" Did
yes,
you see that photograph?
yeah.
Well, here we are, right here and now. What's in the
Ooh,
box?
it's a big one.
Ooh, it says Star Wars on it.
Ooh, what is that?
It's a box inside a box. What's in the box? Inside a box.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I see it. Is it a Black Series thing?
It is. This came out for Triple Force Friday,
Ooh.
and
Ooh.
there was a Black Series figure. I'm giving it away now. There was a Black Series figure that people couldn't find, and people couldn't figure out where it was because no one had it, and nothing there was no information on it. And Target had these mystery boxes.
Okay.
But nobody wanted to buy it because no one knew what was in it, and it was like $40. So they just kind of sat there, and everybody complained. And then about halfway through the day on a Force Friday,
You bought one.
I got on Target and ordered it.
Yeah, you bought it while everybody else was complaining, I'm guessing.
And now I have two of them. So this will be.
Jeez.
Well, I haven't opened either one of them up yet. So
It's as much a surprise to you as it is to us.
I mean, I
Or
know what
us.
it is. I know what it is, but yes.
Okay.
So we got this. We got a first order pin
Mm-hmm.
First order trooper. Nice.
or a badge, depending on who you talk to.
No, it's a pin. We ain't Australian. We're American. And he's not listening to me.
Oh no, I'm listening to you. He's not listening to this though. I can tell you that.
No, he's not. He don't listen to me neither. But on we go.
We have Star Wars
Comic.
Allegiance. Yep.
Nice.
So I mean the only way
Although
you get
the
the
trooper
pin,
on there looked like one of the GI Joe Cobra guys.
he does.
That was a first order snow trooper, as I understand it, if I see him correctly.
Then we have a hat.
Oh,
Nice.
James on Rebel Scum was wearing that this past weekend for his live
Yeah.
stream. Yeah.
I should take a picture of myself in it and send it to him and be like, "We're fucking twins, bro."
Do that.
And
That would make his day.
It's either that hat or the Slimer hat.
oh, the Slimer one for Halloween that he had. What is
Oh, that
this?
was amazing.
They have an insert in here that doesn't do anything. It just says First Order Elite Snowtrooper, the latest generation of cold weather assault stormtroopers. Shut up. Snowtroopers wear advanced insulated armor and helmets that reduce the glare of icy terrain.
Mm-hmm. As they did on Crate in The Last Jedi. Even though there won't snow, but they were there.
What the fuck is it? What's the one I have back there? Who's that? Oh, that's the Jet Trooper. Okay. So there you go.
Yep.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
First
Love the
Order
cape.
Snow Trooper. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's slick.
And what it just told me in the box is the same thing it tells me on the back. There's no number on it. And yeah, so that is pretty cool. So I actually have another one of these,
Wow.
which, you know, I don't have multiple of anything. So it will either get given as a gift or it will be as a raffle or a prize for something. Like
It's gonna have a number come after December 20th. There'll be a number on it after that.
So yeah, I mean, it just depends on, I have the Kylo Ren Funko Pop with him and the silencer, the TIE silencer, and
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
that is
The
Whisper.
Whisper. Yes.
Was the other one a silencer? Did I just make that up, or
No, Silencer
No.
was from TLJ.
okay?
The
Whisper.
Whisper is going to be from Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
But I just made a quick little video today. I haven't posted or done anything with it. I just recorded it. That's the prize for 500 when I hit 500, and if I can hit 500 before Christmas, which is 23 days away.
Oh, you're gonna add something else, right?
2 of them. There'll be 2
Sweet.
winners. So I think in the video I was like, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your teacher, sign them up, or whatever it was.
Tell your Ewok, tell your Kawaki and Monkey Lizard, tell your Protocol Droid, tell your R2 unit, tell your neighbor, tell your neighbor's Astromech Droid, tell everybody. Let's run it around the Twitterverse. Bust it open wide.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do that. I think my puppies miss me today. My girlfriend could give 2 shits if I'm around or not. So, she was just walking by. But yeah, she took the day off, but was on the phone or doing stuff on the computer all day for work anyway. So, I stuck around the house. I just did a couple of videos and did some begging on Facebook for people. I asked. I just went through on my list of. I have the TooMedToo Star Wars page and group, and there's a bunch of people in there, and right in the header, like what it says for the group, it says this is for my YouTube channel. If you're not following me on YouTube, there's no reason to be here. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or be an asshole, but like the only thing I'm doing is posting videos that I make or whatever. It's not like a regular, hey, let's talk and be friends or whatever. It's like, that's not what it's the intention for it is. So I just went down the list today of people and I was like, hey, you follow me. If you're gonna, be in my group, you should be here. I said it in a nicer way. Obviously, well, not obviously, because before I've said it in not such a nice way, and Facebook told me to stop requesting people because I was spamming because I sent like 50 or 60 messages, but 4 people responded. Well, no, that's not true. About 20 people responded. Four people followed me. 20 people responded. Most of them were thumbs up, which I don't know what that means. I would think that it means, okay, good job, I'm going to follow you. But out of the 24 people did. So I was figuring if I can get 10% of the people to follow me, that's okay. Well, I actually started off a lot better. I started off out of like the first 15 or 20, I got 4 followers, then just stopped after that. But I don't know. So I'll go through the rest of there's 200 people in the group. I went through 50 or 60 today. I'll do their 50 or 60 tomorrow. And the next day, do the other 50 or 60 and just do it until the list is gone. And then go to my other page. And, if I can get 4 or 5 a day off of that, and it takes me a week, that's 35. That puts me at 440. That's just off of that. I average about 2 people a day.
So I would take the thumbs up, as you said, as it can only be one thing, a good thing.
Well, they didn't follow me, so they didn't follow me. But they could have watched my video and decided they don't like it. Somebody asked me what it was about, and I was like, Star Wars. And they're like, oh, I don't watch Star Wars. And I was like, why are you in a Star Wars group, dude? Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
But
all right, guys, I gotta put the kids to bed.
we got one more book real quick.
All right, one more.
We got a book real quick. All right, let's see what it is.
Amazon
let's see what it is.
Prime.
I already know what it is,
but we don't.
The personal diary of Amidala.
You mean Rick Olay? It's a personal diary of Rick Olay. Captain Tarple's personal diary. No, I was just saying
R2D2.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is from the author of The Dharma of Star Wars, which I have that book also. I have a lot of the off Star Wars books, the philosophy of Star Wars, and things of that nature that they're Star Wars books, so they must have some insight or some knowledge value. And after this movie's over and we have a little slowdown time, I'll be able to get caught up on books like this. Oh, I'm not showing this, and the Dharma of Star Wars and philosophy. Because after this movie, when this movie ends, and then we don't have Mandalorian anymore, and we don't have Resistance anymore, and we have to wait till a couple months into next year till we have Clone Wars. So all we're going to be doing is talking about we're still going to be talking about Star Wars. We're just going to be talking about the last movie of this part of the saga.
Didn't Mark Shooter and Becca Benjamin have him on Tarkin's Top Shelf to talk about that book recently?
They did, and I have. You are correct. They did, and I did not listen to it.
Okay.
I didn't listen to it yet because I wanted to have the book. Well, I mean, I had the book. I've had the book since it came out, but I wanted the book open and actually in my hand before I listened to it. So, well,
I'm ahead of you there with that show, but yeah, go give that a listen. Well, now you got the book in hand. I think you're going to enjoy that show.
But I also figured that I have. I want to try and get that George Mann interview that I had. Oh, Charlie, I'm sorry. I told you to stay while I opened up the book. I know you got to go take care of your kids. So.
Yep. And nearly
have a good night, guys.
Time.
Yep.
Good night, DJ. May the force be with you, buddy.
Same to you.
Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining in the chat. May the force be with you. And stuff.
4 things. There he goes.
I want to I don't know if I can get both of the both those interviews edited and done as soon as possible and get them out, but we'll see what happens.
Take your time, and when you can do it, post up when you get them done, because I'm looking forward to them. And
well, I also want to get them out because I don't want to, when I talked to the publicist told me 2 of the people I was trying to do books with aren't doing anymore, aren't scheduling anymore. Anything that they have scheduled for their books, they're doing. Because a lot of I guess a lot of the publicists and books and whatever take a lot of December off. I heard that I heard that on one of the podcasts that when it rolls into December, a lot of especially the top executives, they take almost the entire month of December off because there's nothing new going on. They're not working on books. They're getting rid of what they have to sell for Christmas or whatever it is. So
why does that sound kind of like similar to politicians? Though there ain't no relation, but it just sounds
politicians. They take all the time off.
They take too much time off.
You work 3 days a week for 6 weeks, and then you take off six weeks and
6 months.
But
well, I got no interest in politicians, so the hell with them.
But I want to get those, out there so that hopefully there's some good feedback going back, or maybe they hear about it, or I can send them. I'll send I'll send it to George Mann. Whether he likes it or not. If he likes it, maybe he'll put in a good word for me or say something or send it to the publicist, and maybe she'll watch it, and who knows, or she might just be like, why is this idiot sending me this shit? I got too much stuff to do to deal with it. So, that probably not be the best idea, but instead of saying, oh, you did an interview a month ago and you haven't put it out yet, which I guess is kind of common because I've heard interviews that people have done and a month or two later they come out. So, that's pretty much it. So I think that's going to pretty much do it for today.
Yes, sir. It's coming up. It's a little bit past RFB's bedtime, but
yeah,
I'm here for my Star Wars friends.
We got to put you to bed, sir.
Yes, sir. 4:30 Eastern Standard Time comes pretty quick for me.
That's I always say when I'm going to bed, you're waking up.
Pretty much like that. Yep. I don't envy them overnight pickup hours that you get or your regular shift. Yeah, I ain't done overnight.
I'm usually home by midnight, and then I walk the dogs and do whatever, and then it's 1:00 in the morning or 1:30, and you sit down to watch TV, and you watch TV for an hour or two, or get on the computer or do whatever for an hour or two. The next thing it's 3:30 or 4:00, and I decide, oh shit, I should probably go to bed. And I decided to go to bed, and that's when you're waking up. Or I think it was almost 6:00 in the morning when I went to sleep last night. Just by the time I got home and did a couple things and watched a little bit of TV, and then it took me an hour laying in bed to fall asleep, or an hour and a half, whatever it was. And then my dogs, for some strange reason, decided not to wake me up until 10:00 today. They usually wake me up about 7.
Yeah, I seen some of your posts.
But that was
I seen some of your posts in the Twitterverse, and it was only maybe an hour or two after I woke up, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing up at that hour of the morning? Yeah, there's a bit of time difference between my work and yours. I get you.
All right, yeah, so I'm not sure who we have left in here, but Galactic Pops, if you're here, thank you for stopping by. Mr. Rez, as always, a pleasure. Trevor Beast, it was great to have you stop in. I actually know Trevor from when I started off in this and was just going around and asking everyone and annoying everyone in the world about everything. And then kind of just haven't really talked to him much recently. Well, I haven't really talked to him much except for recently. Started talking to him again a little bit, but that's just how it goes.
Well, yes, sir. Let's do this again next Monday evening.
Yes,
And I
next
hope we can
Monday.
I hope we can get so many more. We had some friends in here tonight. Pete from Jan Transmissions was here. Charles from Conversations is here. Mr. Rez was here. We had some friends. Let's tag some more friends. Let's bust this wide open. Get some more friends in here.
That's what
Even if for just a little bit. I mean, hell, we had James from Rebel Scum. We had some friends here. Let's get some more friends.
James will pop in and be here for and pop out and then pop back in, which that's great. That's fine. That's whatever you need to do to fit into your schedule. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's all of us hanging out together. That's what we're doing this for. So we can talk in real time and have fun.
And Mr. Rez, you had asked me earlier how my bookcase is doing. It gets delivered on Wednesday between 8 and 12. But not to talk about my bed. So I broke my old bed apart, which is that thing. It's like the bed frame it's like solid wood and it's heavy and it like the whole bed together probably weighs like 400 or 500 pounds with the headboard, and it has the posts come off of it because it's so heavy you couldn't move it with the posts on there. I mean the posts are probably inches in diameter and it's solid wood, so it's like it's like putting like 3 4x4s together, taping them side by side and put it like that's like the size of it. And it's just so they were supposed to come today to put the new bed together, and the guy calls me and he's like, well, it's just me. And I was like, well, okay, you got to move the bed from the first floor to the third floor. And he's like, what size is the bed? I said, it's a king size bed. And he's like, well, I can't put that together myself. And I was like, why? All I did is I bought the bed and I clicked the button. It says, want somebody to put it together for me and do all the shit, and click the button. And then the lady on the phone, she tells me, like, after an hour going back and forth with everything, she's like, well, you only ordered it for one person. And I was like, no, I clicked the button. If it's a 2-man job, I don't decide how many people come when I click the button. She's like, well, you ordered it for one person. I was like, really? So can I order it for 4 people? She's like, well, then no. I said, well, then how do I change the number of one or two? I said, so it's your fault. And I was starting to get a little angry, but I was still nice. I didn't swear because I don't like to use profanity. Not, talking's different than when you're angry, using profanity. But I said, you know what? This is one of the most idiotic things I have heard all day. And I have heard a lot of idiotic things talking to your company today. How can you blame me because you sent and put in the wrong number of people?
But Michael, are you seeing him in the live chat, Mr. Rez? He says he's not interested in beds or armoires, just bookcases. He's here for bookcase content.
Well,
you got to give him that bookcase content. That's on you.
when you have a story about a bookcase, it has 2 things. It has a beginning and an end. And in between there is my story about whatever the fuck. So,
as he was saying about profanity. All right, boys.
That wasn't profanity. That wasn't profanity because it wasn't in anger. That was just talking.
Oh, that was straight up talking. Gotcha. Alrighty then, boys. RFB's off to bed, and we'll pick up right here next Monday evening.
We will.
or in such other live chats that maybe tends to happen in these next 4 upcoming days. Because if Girls with Sabers or whoever else, some such, happens to do a live chat, I'm tagging some friends. We'll see what happens.
Oh, and Anthony, that music I was listening to,
Yes, sir?
do you know who that was?
Might it
Fort
be?
Chocula.
No, I'm not really schooled in modern day music, but I do know that's Jason Ward.
Yep,
Hmm.
that's Jason Ward's music. Um,
That's only because
and
I pay attention to his channel.
I talked with him, and I was like, listen, can I use some of this, like, for my stuff? And he was like, yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely,
And I was like,
I wouldn't expect nothing less of Mr. Ward.
well,
He's a free soul.
no, I know, but still, it's like, I mean, he could have been like $10, or I'm going to hit you with a copyright.
No, that's
You
not
know,
how Jason rolls. You know
I
that.
know, but you still gotta ask. I don't want to go and use his music and
Absolutely.
not,
That's why he
So,
let you do it because you asked. If you didn't ask, he'd be all kind of sideways because you asked. No, that's how he rolls.
so I had
Hey,
it. I
just
had it on
about.
my phone. I had it on my phone, and it was downloaded onto my phone. And then I
Mm-hmm.
have like the app on my phone and the app on my computer. So I needed it on my computer so I can, change it and do some stuff to it and change whatever. So like that,
Mm-hmm.
the intro that I have is going to be that music instead of the music that's on there right now. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
Jason Ward's music instead of the music I have on there right now. But I need to be able to separate it and shorten it up and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't figure out for an hour and a half. I tried everything why I couldn't get it off my phone onto my computer and do it. Like I'm trying to do it from that, and I'm trying to save it on my Google Drive and everything. It wouldn't let me, and I couldn't figure out what the fuck was wrong with it. Finally, I figured out. I was just using. I didn't have my Wi-Fi on. I was just using regular data because I just use regular data all the time because I have unlimited data, so it doesn't matter. But I had to use my phone wouldn't let me do it because I didn't have Wi-Fi on. It wouldn't let me transfer it because it would use too much data that way. So it was like a safety thing or whatever. And I was like, dude, for an hour and a half, I tried everything. I was on my computer trying to do everything. I was like, not too good on the computers yet, but someday, maybe by the time I'm 50, I'll have them figured out.
Here's a goofy kind of weird music thing in relation to me. You already gave a listen to this past Jam Transmissions when I was talking with Pete and Josh about
Yep.
Resistance Reborn. Did you hear or give a listen how Pete chose to end the show in that last, I want to say, 90, 90 seconds? He picked a song that is from my playlist of music that I listen to because I don't listen to modern day music. I listen to old country blues. And there's a couple modern day bands that do music in the style of, if you understand what country blues is, it's not country music. It's before, years before that. And what Pete chose to go and put on that show is, when I heard it, just blew my mind. I weren't nearly expecting that.
It's one of those
It,
songs where your wife left you, your dog ran away, your car broke down, your house
no,
burned down, right? Country music
that's
like that.
no, that's country music. This is
Oh,
years before that. So, um, and I don't think it's going to be something. Maybe it might be something you might be interested in listening to, but it's a band called what the hell's their name? Hillstomp. HILLSTOMP. If you even care to go and give a listen to, it's really stripped down, straight up old blues music. That's how I like my music. Just for me. Yeah, I put down modern day music, 10 years ago? So what folks are talking about now except for Jason, just because I pay attention to what Making Star Wars is doing, and he posts up what all he's doing. That's the only thing I understand about what he talks about. Any other kind of what went on this past weekend with what folks calls it the American Music Awards? I don't know what none of that is. I don't listen to none of it.
I have no idea. All right.
Well, but anywho's, oh holy shit, we're coming up on 11 o'clock. Yep, bedtime, and we'll meet up right here again next Monday.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
May the force be with you, my friend. We'll see you here next.
May the force be with you
Yes, sir.
always. Well, all right, everybody. That was going to be a nice short one today. And now we're going on 2.5 hours. So, yeah, I told my girlfriend, I said, it won't be long. I'll keep it short. And shorter than last week, I guess. It wasn't 3 hours, but anyways, make sure if you're still here and you haven't subscribed, hit that button and help me get to the next goal of 500, which is the halfway point in my 1,000 marks that I need. 1,000 people to follow me so I can live stream from Star Wars Celebration. So when you can't be there, I'm walking around with the camera and you're telling me where to go. So you're basically living vicariously through me. I said good day. May the force be with you. All right, bye everybody.